What's up, beautiful people? Chances are, if you need to get your life together or you want to be a little bit more organized or productive, you don't need to go out and buy another $200 gadget or download another app. What you simply need are simple tools that will help you lean into the most productive version of yourself possible. And these tools are going to help you take everything that's in here and get it out even on your most busiest weeks in a way that will help you be productive without being overwhelmed. So today I'm going to talk about 5 simple tools that will help you lean in and help you live your best life possible. None of them are expensive. All of them are accessible. You don't even need all 5, though I would strongly suggest you utilize all 5. So let's go ahead and get started right now. So first things first, this is going to help you take everything that you're juggling and organize it in a way that feels more lighter, more refreshing, more balanced, not as anxious. You know that feeling when you always have something to do and you've got like anxious anxiety? Our goal is to get rid of that feeling. So tool number 1 is something that you already have, more than likely. You might even be holding it right now, and that is your cell phone. Yes, cell phones get a bad rap because they are huge distractors and have a tendency, if you're not disciplined, to take you in a whole different direction. But I do want to talk about a few things that are on your cell phone that will really help you lock in. And the first one is going to be your calendar. And the best thing I can tell you is your calendar is on the truth. If it doesn't get scheduled, then it doesn't get done. I say that at work all the time, and I say that in my personal life. Because when things don't get calendared, they are best thought intentions. They're simply, quite honestly, wishes. And what a calendar does is it protects your time and it stops you from overcommitting because it forces you to see the reality of what your day looks like. So a lot of us have calendars, but let me tell you what to do with the calendar. So we're not going to do 35 intricate steps on our calendar. What I really want you to lock in is on 3 things. First thing with your calendar is you're going to put the things that require your time to be there. So these are going to be your meetings. These are going to be, I have to pick X, Y, Z up from school, or go take this child to this practice, or I have to go take my parents here, or I have to be at sorority meet, or I have to do community service. These are things that you absolutely physically need to be in. Put them in your calendar. Write them down in your calendar, or if you have a digital calendar on your phone, program them. I use Google Calendar, but whatever calendar you utilize, put them on your calendar, because what it's going to be able to show you is, quite honestly, where you need to be. And it's going to help you have the reality of understanding that when you need to be someplace, but you have something following it immediately, do you even have time to transition? And look, I'm going to be honest with you, a calendar sometimes can be scary because it does exactly that. It shows you the truth. The second thing I want you to put on your calendar, if you're not already doing this, are reminders. These are things that you have a tendency to forget. Google Calendar and pretty much Apple Calendar, everything has a tab where you can go in and put reminders. Now, I'm not talking about putting things like a reminder to work out. Girl, you know you need to get up in the morning to work out. But this might be where you put reminders, whether it's birthdays or tasks or things to do. Now, your reminders are not meant to be boxes that you check off as to-dos. They're meant to simply prompt you and remind you of the things that you need to do. So utilize your calendar to the most effective way possible. The third thing, and we're not going to go into the rabbit hole with here, but once you do that, you're going to be able to do a better job of grabbing hold of reality and locking into time blocking. So the very first tool that you have is your calendar. Don't be afraid of it. Your calendar is almost like your bank account. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to know what my bank account says, or some people don't want to know what their credit says. Baby, you've got to look at that calendar. You've got to own it. You've got to live it, and you've got to take control of it. Tool number 2, this could be literally free, or it could be as cheap as 99 cents all the way up to $5 or $6, and that is a capture notebook. This is where you brain dump. And it doesn't have to physically be in a notebook. I actually have most of my brain dumping in Notion. A lot of people like to use the Notes app in their cell phone. If you are somebody who likes to physically write things, I do a lot of brain dumping for my content ideas for YouTube. That's where they go. But if someone is talking to me like at work and they're telling me something that I know I need to remember, I will whip out my phone. Sometimes I will even send a text message to myself to remind myself I need to follow back on that when I get back to the office. I don't know about you, but there are tons of things that run through my mind and tons of problems I'm solving on any given day. And there is no way, as much as my intentions want, is that I'm going to remember everything that I was supposed to do, or that I promised, or I said I was going to do throughout the course of the day, or quite honestly that I need to. Now, I love at the end of the day, when I'm time blocking to do a brain dump and go back and look at all the things that I said I was going to do and push those over to the next day. But you need a place to capture your thoughts. And if you're not brain dumping, you are really missing out on a skill that can really free up a lot of internal space in your brain. Because when you brain dump, it really allows you to get it out tangibly on paper or in a digital format. And not only when you brain dump, it means that you are not so living like that. What am I supposed to be doing? Or what am I supposed to be following up on? Brain dumping is really powerful before you go to bed, because then you have a tendency to not allow your mind to race, because everything that was in it is out on paper or someplace else. All right, tool number 3, a planner. I think everybody should have a planner. And if I'm being honest with you, I think everybody should have a paper planner. Now, you can fight me if you want to. It's just something about a paper planner that I think is just a little bit more productive than a digital planner. But whatever floats your boat, the goal isn't about the actual physical planner or the physical app. It's about actually what the content is that goes in it. And a planner is a planner. It's not a journal. I know a lot of people want to encompass these things and have them in the same place. I just personally think that a planner is where my managerial operational aspect of my life goes. And if I want to like capture my feelings or emotions or things that happen, I put those someplace else. I do love my planner, and I use the Full Focus Wellness Planner. And the reason that I like this planner is it does allow you a little bit to lean into some of those, how was your day? It does ask you questions like, what I'm grateful for, what was the best thing today? But it doesn't force you into any kind of journal prompting, because I'm not going to do that. It's enough for me to keep up with my planner. But what I recommend you do with your planner is that every week you have your top 3 priorities of the week, and every day you have your top 3 priorities of the day, and they should absolutely coincide with what you planned for the week. If you need help on planning and you want to get detailed into my system, I will leave a video link below or somewhere in the corner of how I plan every single week and what that looks like for me. But you need to get a planner, and you need to actually use it. It's not for stickers and decorations. It's to help organize your life, but you can still put stickers in it. All right, tool number 4, trusty, dusty timer and not your phone. I love a timer. A timer has saved me so many times. And a timer, what I like about it is I will set my timer for like 15 minutes that I'm going to do something. And then most of the time I'll probably exceed that. But when I don't want to do something and I know like, okay, I didn't even want to do this and I've done 15 minutes. Sometimes like when I'm working on work or I'm working on YouTube, I will set my timer for 25 minutes so that I can actually stop and force myself to take a break. That's called the Pomodoro effect. But I'm not like a stickler for 25 minutes, 5-minute break. It's whatever works for you. But I like to have that because this is the thing about a timer and what I like about a timer. At the end of the day, when I didn't want to do something or I need to get something done and I've set my timer for 30 minutes and it goes off, I know I have spent at least a minimum of 30 minutes doing what I need to do. I also love a timer because it helps me keep on track. A lot of times I love a timer because I'll set it for things that I really shouldn't be doing. I will set a timer for be like, okay, I've been on my phone for like 10 minutes already. It's time to get to work. A timer is perfect. And these timers are literally $3 on Amazon. This will help you get things done. There's just something old school about that that just gets you into another gear. Try it. And with a timer, it's not about motivation. It's about a beginning, and it gets you started. All right, and tool number 5 is gonna sound a little bit cuckoo, but just roll with me. You need an anchor object in your home, and you probably need more than one. And what is an anchor object? An anchor object means that when you interact with that object, it signals that you are about to do X, Y, and Z to either A, get your day started, B, end your day, C, start work, D, get a task completed. So let me give you some examples of anchor objects in my home. An anchor object in my home is my freaking Simply Moderns or Stanleys. I fill this up every morning with my electrolytes, my water, and my ice. It signals to me that, girl, you are about to go physically move your body every day. Another anchor object for me in the morning is the coffee pot. When the coffee pot comes on after I come back downstairs from working out, there's no turning back. It is getting ready to go to work, and it completely changes my frame of mind. So one is an anchor object that signals I'm about to go into workout mode. Another is an anchor object that helps me understand I'm transitioning over to work mode. Another anchor object for me when I leave work is when I put everything in my desk in a pile. That little of taking those papers and putting them in a pile, no matter how organized or disorganized they are, it signals to me it's time to leave. For a lot of people, that anchor object would be closing their computer. Whatever it is, it's the signal of letting me know that the work day is over. A lot of times an anchor object for me is the phone when I get into the car leaving work. I usually, most of the time, call my daughter, or I will put on video on my way home. That is that whole transition of when I'm driving home and commuting home, that whether I'm talking to my daughter, watching a video, sometimes driving in silence, but I don't really do that as much as I used to. It lets me know you are transitioning to home mode. The coffee pot, when I come back in the house in the evening, is another anchor object. I don't have coffee a second time, but I dump out the coffee from the morning and I get ready for the next day. So it helps me just get into a rhythm. So think about what your physical anchor objects are, because you already have them. But I want you to think about them as a way to transition from one part of your day to the next, or even one part of your week to the next. Let it mentally help signal to you that this is completed or this is over and it's time to get into mom mode or wife mode or daughter mode or whatever mode it is you need to lock into. Maybe it's boss mode. So putting this all together, it's like we said, we're going to check our calendar because we started with that, whether that's on your phone or you even have a physical calendar. You're going to do a brain dump, whether that's in a capture notebook or a digital component or the notes app of your phone. That's another way that you can release a lot of that energy and a lot of that thoughts that are in your head. You're going to have your planner and you're going to decide what your 3 priorities every week, and you're going to build your days around executing pieces and components of those priorities so that by the end of the week, you've actually executed the 3 things that you said you were going to do. You're going to use your timer. You don't need to use a timer for everything. Start off with something simple. Maybe your timer will be how long you actually sit down and read when you get home from work. Maybe your timer is going to be how long it takes for you to clean the kitchen. Timers are great for kids too, especially little kids, because they feel like you're gamifying something. Does not work on teenagers. But it's an excellent way to teach them responsibility if you've never thought about it. And then finally, you're going to have your anchor objects. These are the things that signal to you that one piece of the day is starting and another one is ending, or you're transitioning from one activity to the next. As always, if you want a productive life, the goal is not to do more. The goal is to capitalize on the activities that you're probably already doing and putting them in a systemic way that helps you move forward. I'm just curious, if you leave a comment down below, which one of these things do you think will help you the most? And if you are not quite sure where to begin, why don't you watch this next video and let it lead you in the right direction? As always, I want to thank y'all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.